I mean, I don't know what's going on with the rebranding. It's hard because we have so many like news outlets that we are associated
That's why I say
with.
we just switch it to GWK because then it stands for Geeks with Kids and Geeks Without Kids.
It's true, but the email address is Geeks with Kids, so that's the issue there. Yeah. Anyway, welcome to Geeks with Kids in 2024. We are back. We took a month off.
We already got a subscriber.
Did we? Yay.
Yeah.
Go
do your homework.
Yeah. I should have turned on. I didn't turn on any of the alerts or anything, but whatever. We're back. We took a month off because it was the holiday times, and January was busy. I had a seminar that I was doing on Monday nights, and I was just like, you know what? I'm tired.
How'd that go?
It was really good. We'll talk about it later because
Nice.
I can't talk. I have an NDA for it. All right. I
Oh,
can't technically
okay.
talk about it in general.
Cool.
Actually, the only thing that's NDA'd are the things that I read and studied.
Cool
in
beans.
there. Yeah. Anyway, that's not important because who cares? We're back. Geeks with Kids or GWK. We don't know what we're calling
Yeah, we're
ourselves.
not here to talk about geeky shit. Come
Yeah,
on.
it's fine. Joining me is Michael Hawk. I don't know if I call you Michael or Hawk on here. I'm just gonna call you Hawk because that's what I call you all the time.
Yeah,
Hawk and Brent.
seems to be my.
How's it going, guys?
It's going good.
How was your break?
good.
I don't think I've generally talked to you guys in a while.
It has been a little while, hasn't it?
Even on like Strange New Pod, I haven't seen you because I've been on like sporadically.
I know. I know. I've taken at least 2 episodes off. I think this year so far. So
That's okay. It's time.
Yeah.
You know what? I didn't turn on my sparkly lights that are right here. I have a booth that comes down out of the ceiling now, that just covers here, and it just like soundproofs
Like
this
a-
area.
cone of
Nice.
silence.
It is my.
Is it
code.
remote controlled?
No, it's not because I'm not.
Get on that.
Yeah.
I don't have.
Because
the-
what? You're not a supervillain?
No, I don't have that money. I'm not. It's not the supervillain. It's like I would do that if I was a supervillain, but no, it's the money. I do have some soundproofing on the wall now, which is nice.
Good.
Yeah. So things are good. Good.
Yeah. Good.
Well,
Yeah.
we're coming back February strong. We're starting off with a review of Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown, which is the Ubisoft exclusive. Always exclusive. It's just a Ubisoft game. It's on PC, PS5, and Xbox Series X and S. I can't remember
Switch.
Switch. I forgot it's on the Switch as well.
Yep.
Yeah, I've been playing it on the Switch.
I feel like if I played on the Switch, I would throw my Switch at times. The controllers I always find are super like.
I'm finding that a lot lately, like, because I've been playing the Switch handheld a lot more, and I find that like there's just certain games I can't play on that because it's just too awkward.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, we'll talk about the differences because you played on PS5, right?
Yes.
I played on PC. Hawk played on Switch. Look, we have a comparison for gameplay. That's awesome. So we're talking about Prince of Persia today. We'll talk about our history with it. But, before we get into that review, let's talk about what's good, what we're liking, what our yums are. I can't even remember.
It's called yum.
What's our yum? I don't remember.
That's just our
yummies.
That's our throwback name.
Yum. All right, Brent, tell me what's good, man. What's good?
Okay, well, I didn't even know we were doing this, but yet in true me fashion, I managed to somehow in the last 30 seconds come up with two of them instead of one. One of them is just a basic advertisement. What I've been doing in the past month off is I started a game show on my Twitch channel that we've been running every Sunday called Who Dat Twitch. I invite other streamers to come in. They bring in members of their community and we hide their identities, and like an old 70s style game show, they have to it's basically like an old 70s style dating show. They have to ask some questions to try to figure out who they are. And it's just, it's a lot of fun. It gives me a chance to be creative and come up with creative things and different aspects and meet new people. So it's been going really good. It's been very successful so far. We've got a really big episode coming up this week where we've got somebody on it who is just absolutely really blowing up on Twitch right now, which is going to bring a lot of attention to the show, which is very nice, and help bring more attention to them because they're an awesome streamer. So
who's on this Sunday?
We have Curly on this Sunday.
Oh, cool. So
somebody who is, she started streaming about a year and a half ago, and she made partner in less than a year. And she's already at 12K and growing followers on here, just absolutely destroying it.
Right. That's awesome.
So she's slumming it on my show, which is nice. But
I've watched your show; it's quite good. It's really fun, and I really liked your Survivor thing that I was at.
We've got another.
Was at a show.
We got another one of those coming up on the 25th with Big Brother this time, which is going to be a lot of fun. Mm-hmm. That's just not my advertisement for my stuff, but my true yum right now is I found out. I did not realize that it was coming out, but I didn't realize that the Yakuza Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth had released. And I was like, oh, I want to play this eventually. Oh my god, I need to go back and finish Yakuza Like a Dragon still. And I have been playing that every night for the past week now, and it's just, I've fallen in love with that game. It's so ridiculous. It's so much fun. I can't stop playing it. For anyone who's ever played, it is just absolutely absurd storylines, absurd enemy variations. It's just an absolute crazy acid trip of a game. I love it so much. And I can't wait to finally, I want to 100% it, which I know is going to take a while, because I think it's around a 70 or 80 hour story.
Oh shit.
And I've heard that Infinite Wealth is even longer. So
that
it's a game I've been slowly chipping away at it for the past year and a half, and it's one of those games I don't want to end, which is why I keep stopping. I don't want it to end because I'm having too much fun with it.
I have that game in my catalog, and I still haven't booted it up yet.
I bought it years ago when it was on. They announced that they were giving a free PS5 upgrade for it. So I went on Amazon and I found the PS4 version in the Steelbook, and they had it on sale for $25. So I was like, let me grab that. I said the PS5 version comes out in 6 months, and I just let it sit there in the wrapping, waiting for the PS5 release. Very nice. I got the upgrade, and it's it's every 3 months I sit down and I play it for a couple weeks, and then I put it away, and then I let the anticipation build, and I come back to it. It's so much fun. It's so ridiculous. It's a great throwback to old JRPG turnstile combat with the new 3D modern twists. You're fighting guys in giant baby men in diapers. You're fighting pirates. You have to run. You have a company you have to run and make it the most successful company in all of Japan.
Is it a legal company or an illegal?
Yes. Yeah. Like while at the same time you have a whole bunch of like enemies that you have to go-kart race against, and you have to beat them to defend your honor. Like it's wonderful, wonderful. Can't say enough good stuff.
That's amazing. Hawk, what's your yum?
Yeah. So for me, it's new to me, and obviously maybe not new to you in that, but I recently got into Abbott Elementary, and it is a fantastic sitcom. I love it, especially Janelle James as Ava Coleman. She is fantastically funny. Like she plays the principal of this small Philadelphia school, very underfunded and that, but teachers, it shows the love teachers have for that job and that willing to put up with garbage and that in order to get the job done and that. But her as the principal is great. Her only qualification for the job was that she was blackmailing a superintendent and that she knew about as a affair.
Are you in the second season or in the first season?
I'm in the second season,
nice.
rounding the corner up to the end of it, and that they just found out that their rival is trying to turn them into a charter school. Yeah, but it's such a great little chill out show. It's like so light. Like when the comedy hits, it hits hard. But I love all the characters.
I love finding these little shows that I never knew existed. Watching like another one I've been watching recently is I got into The Bear.
The Bear is really good.
Never knew that show existed, and I was like,
you've worked in kitchens. You should know. You should watch that.
Yeah, you really. Everybody's been talking about that one. I know. Yeah. I'm like
have you not seen
episodes.
It either?
I'm 3 episodes into the second season. I kind of left it there, and that I never got back to it.
They just started filming the 3rd season.
Yeah.
After the huge, with all the hype at the Emmys and that is particularly, it's a great show.
Yeah. Abbott Elementary on Disney Plus for Canadians. The Bear also on Disney Plus for Canadians. So check it out on both of those. Those are both good shows.
Yeah, I'm really hoping they do a 3rd season for Abbott.
I don't doubt that they will. Like. We know enough people.
Abbott Elementary season 3 official trailer 5 days ago launched.
Bam! There you go.
There you go.
Dude,
also, we know Philadelphia people, and they're like, "This is true. This is how it is. This is how it is in Philly." I'm like, "Okay, fair enough."
I mean, we all know Will Smith.
Yeah, fair. For me, I don't know. Do I do a video game or a TV show? Yeah, I never got into Echo. I still am only like 3 episodes in. And I just sort of stopped. It was
honestly, I kind of gave up on Marvel back in Ant-Man and Quantumania.
That's fair. Deadpool, I'm really looking forward to. That's it. That's all I'm looking forward to.
But I mean, everybody.
Maybe eventually Blade. I'll be looking forward to that.
Whenever
everybody seems to bypass Loki season 2 though. And
Loki was very good. You're right. Yeah. I forgot about that. It's because it was just a really good show, and no one thinks it's a Marvel show. Just like,
I know.
Just a good show.
To be honest, I didn't even realize that Loki season 2 had even come out.
It's very good. You should watch it.
I love the first season, so I should watch that.
It's very different from the first season, but quite good. I've been playing Pal World like the rest of the world, which is like nondescript Pokemon game. Not legally licensed.
It's breath of the Pokecraft.
Yeah.
It's Breath of the Wild meets Minecraft meets Pokemon. Like it's
that's very
all your favorite games stolen into one bundle. Like
when I wasn't playing Prince of Persia, I was playing Pal World. Which is it. I powered through Prince of Persia and I was like, oh, I gotta catch them all or catch most of them. Because Catch 'em All is a Pokemon.
What level are you at now?
In Pokemon in
Pal World.
Yeah. I'm like
Pokepals?
I'm like 16 or 17 or something like that.
Oh, so you're not that far ahead.
I'm not that far.
Further ahead of me. Yeah, I think I'm like 15 or something.
I don't get to play as much as I would like to.
I basically after I finish streaming, I put it on and play for like maybe an hour or two a night, and that's just kind of like chip away at it.
Yeah. Catch like at least 10 of each Pal, and then you get extra XP and stuff. It helps that I'm on a friend's server on Dave from Geeks with Kids on their server, so yeah, it's nice having like the ability to repair my stuff without having to spend 2 days farming shit because the pals at the farm are doing all the work. Look it up. It's a fun game. You'd enjoy it. Other than that, have I been doing anything else? Not really. No. So let's talk about Prince of Persia, the Ubisoft franchise that started in 1989 and then got a really, really phenomenal reboot back in like 2000 and I want to say 2001, 2003, 2003. It's the Sands of Time was 2003.
Later than that. Because I still remember the commercial for it, and it was they used Glossily by Sigur Rós as the theme music for it.
Oh my God! Like, yes, you're right. I forgot about that. I remember playing that game in our computer labs.
Fun side note about that: Sigur Rós concert is where my brother got proposed to be married.
Aww.
His partner took him to a Sigur Rós concert and proposed.
That's amazing.
If you ever get a chance, go see them. They're fantastic.
Oh, I'd love them.
I would love that. I would love to see them. So anyway, this year, they sort of did another soft reboot with Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown. I think the last game.
Wouldn't call this a reboot, is it?
It's it's not the Sands of Time line of games, and it's not the reboot from 2013. I want to say 2013. What was it? Prince of Persia, Warrior Within, Prince of Persia 2 Grounds. It's not the 2008 reboot, which happened then. So it's a whole new line of games. So I would call it a refresh, maybe. Refresh. Let's call it a refresh. Because it's also not the Prince of previous games.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, so this
is also spoiler, not a prince.
Fair.
He's not a prince. He's an immortal.
I thought the Prince of Persia was the other guy that is in the game.
Yes, there is a Prince of Persia in this game.
But he's not the Prince of Persia.
I assumed that when you buy a game called the Prince of Persia, you're playing as the Prince of Persia.
That's fair.
You never really
his bodyguard
as the prince, do you? I mean, you're always playing as like kind of a rogue character in the game, and definitely not royalty.
But
then again, that shows my ignorance because I haven't played any of the previous ones other than the original '89 version. So
no good. We're gonna go into where we're back and like how we got into this. But the one from Sands of Time was a prince. He was the prince. I'm pretty sure he was a prince. That's the one that they based the Jake Gyllenhaal movie on.
Yeah, it's the Jake Gyllenhaal.
God damn it!
Which, by the way, have you seen the Roadhouse trailer?
No.
It looks. It looks amazing.
Yeah. I do want to see
it. It looks so good.
It does. It does. It was like,
whoever thought to themselves, what would be a great movie to reboot? Roadhouse.
And
you know what? You can put Conor McGregor in it too.
Yeah, why not?
He's sane.
Let's make him an MMA fighter as well. Okay, that makes sense. It looks really good. It surprisingly looks good. I don't know why. Anyway, so what's your history with Prince of Persia? Let's start with Brent because you already started into it.
Yeah, I mean, like my history literally goes back to the very original one. Like we were one of the first families, like in our neighborhood, in our family, all around. Like we were one of the first groups to get a home computer, and my dad was really into electronics and stuff like that. So anything new came out, he wanted to get it. He wanted to try it. He wanted it in our home, and he knew that we were going to be really big on like as kids because I was like around 12 or 13 at the time. So he's like, "Oh, you guys are definitely going to be wanting to play video games." So we would get all the new video games that came out. And I remember Prince of Persia being one of them. And I remember playing that game, and it's like, it looks so shitty now to look back on it. Because it's the one where every time you start running and then you stop, your character keeps sliding for half a screen.
Yep.
But like, I remember watching that and going like, this is the pinnacle. It doesn't get graphically better than this. Like, this is as realistic as it's ever going to get. And thinking what a marvel that game was for that sense. But boy, was I wrong. Probably wrong nowadays too. If we were to say that now, I think we're in 20 years we would reconsider that. But I just had so much fun with it. But I never got into any of the other ones. It was just never. It was never a series that enticed me to want to get back into it. I think because of like I've never been a big fan of like desert locations and arid environments and very like muted colors and things in games. Like I like things to be more bright and vibrant and colorful and have variation, and I never really felt that with that game. But I would like to go back to it now and try it, because now, like I said, I went back and I started playing all the God of War games that I bypassed when I was younger and fell in love with all those. So I feel like it's going to be the same thing with this series.
It's harder because the one from 1989 only had 8 colors in it. So, there's only so much you can do. I also played that one, so.
Yeah.
Because you didn't play any of the other ones. You just came back into once they made it into a Metroidvania.
And honestly, if they had not announced that this was a Metroidvania, I wouldn't even play this one.
Fair.
But I'm a Metroidvania freak. I will play every game in the genre if it's put in front of me. And so I was like, I have to try this one. And oh God, did it blow me away.
It helps that they came out with a really good trailer, which is playing in the background of us on the stream if you are watching it. Hawk, what's your history with the franchise?
My history actually kind of goes back pretty far with it. The first game, I didn't actually play, but like the computer labs at my high school, and a couple of guys had loaded it up on there, and so I used to spend like lunch breaks going and watching them play it mostly. My actual first interaction with it was 2003's The Sands of Time for the PS3. Actually, I was going through some old stuff. I still have my.
That
old
would be
copy.
PS2, man.
Was it PS2 or no? I thought it was 3 or is it 2?
Yeah, no, I think it would be 2.
Mm-hmm. PS3,
You're right.
not out at that time.
That's right, 2000. Yeah, 2000. Okay, so you're right. It was the PS2. I just found my old copy is still back there. I enjoyed it, and although the Sands of Time I always felt was a little short and maybe kind of a little lacking in the RPG department and that, like kind of but like it was still a fun playthrough when I played it, and like I said, good advertising, which really kind of got me into it. But I hadn't really picked up another one since that one until the Lost Crown.
Nice, man. The trailer for this game really like blew me away, and I was like, oh shit, they made Prince of Persia again, and they made it look good. Again, like these guys, I played the original one. I played it on PC back when I only had a green and black monitor, so I didn't even get the colors that Brent got when he was playing. Mine were strictly shades of green, which was a little weird. But I had a good imagination when I was younger. Not anymore. Then obviously took a break. I don't even know if there were games in between that. Apparently there were a couple before the Sands of Time came out. Sands of Time.
Yeah, looks like Shadow and the Flame was the sequel. Prince of Persia 3D from 1999.
And we all know how 3D games were back in 99. So
yeah,
I think I'm fine with missing those. Sands of Time and Warrior Within were two really amazing games. I played the shit ton of those. I played them on PC back then because I didn't have a PS2 because I'm poor. But those games are amazing. Was Two Thrones part of that series? It was. Yeah, I played that one.
It was. Yeah, 2005.
Yeah, so I played all three of those. They were fantastic. And then when they did the reboot in 2008, just Prince of Persia, I played that one too. That was when Nolan North played the Prince. That was a great game. It was cel shaded. It looked really cool.
Oh, they're doing a Sands of Time remake.
Are they?
Yeah, it's announced. Ubisoft. I don't know how to pronounce that. Pune? Pune? I don't know, but that's the Ubisoft company that's handling it. So it says Sands of Time remake is in the works.
I mean, if they're gonna, I read today that they might remake from the ground up Uncharted 1. So
I hope so.
Yeah,
I would love that.
That's fair. Speaking of, we're gonna have a Last of Us Part 2 video review coming out soon. That'll happen in a little bit. Yeah, and then this game got announced like a year ago, and I was like, holy shit. I guess I'm going back into Prince of Persia, especially since I do also like Metroidvania games like these two guys. We've done so many reviews on Metroidvania games. Check out our channel. Anyway, so this game, the newest one, I have the info up here. It follows a new protagonist, Sargon, who is in a Metroidvania style. He's stuck in this castle or temple that's lost in time. It's phenomenal. Let's do a 2-minute non-spoiler review. Hawk hasn't finished the game, but he's pretty close. So we won't fully spoil the game, but we're going to get into mechanics and stuff and some of the, the powers. But 2-second review for those that don't want to get spoiled. Hawk.
Yeah, Metroidvania, lots of exploration, a great fighting engine. God, I don't even know what else.
Plays well on Switch?
It plays very well on Switch, aside from the bugs issues we're going to discuss later in that, but it's very fluid, It might frustrate you, but at the same time, once you really get into that groove and that the puzzles, they don't seem that hard.
Nice. Brent, 2-second review. Should
Yeah,
also say,
incredible.
should you play it, Hawk?
Oh, absolutely. If you're not playing it, I mean, like
Yeah.
they threw it out on so many formats and that. Why aren't you playing it?
Damn straight.
Incredible boss fights, incredible puzzles. Super Metroid was my favorite Metroidvania game for probably 15, 16 years until Hollow Knight came along. It took that long for a game to surpass Super Metroid as one of my favorite Metroidvanias. It took Prince of Persia 3 days to surpass Super Metroid as my second favorite Metroidvania game of all time. It's just that good.
I mean, what can I say that these two haven't said? It also plays really good on PC, except you have to play through Ubisoft Connect, which is bullshit. And I hate that.
Weird.
I hate it so much. Just let me have it on Steam, and I'll be fine. That's the only.
Even
issue.
on PS5, I hated seeing those little Ubisoft things constantly pop up every time I hit an achievement. It's like, just go away.
Anyway,
Is there any advantage to playing on Ubisoft? Like,
no.
Connect?
You get Ubisoft points that you can use to buy like cosmetics for games and like and
Art
cosmetics
books
for
and
like
backgrounds and some
it's
other
just
things.
silly little stuff. There's no advantageous. It's just for hardcore collectors.
You can get the Warrior Within costume using that Ubisoft points.
Yeah, I don't care if I can get the Warrior within game, then I'd be in for
That's
it.
fair.
But I don't. I didn't even know that you could change outfits in this game until like
Oh,
90%
man.
through the game.
I kept on sending. I think Hawk.
I
was
kept
I
wondering
sending
why.
to you?
Yes, you did actually. I remember that.
I kept wondering. I was like, why am I going on this like super long puzzle run and all this like platforming and all these spikes and it's horrible, and at the end all I get is a pair of pants. I'm like, what the fuck is a pair of pants?
So
And I'm like, oh, I have costume changes.
we're gonna get into spoilers now. We're gonna go into the whole game. So one of the longest jumping puzzles in this game for me was just for a fucking skin, and I was like, I got to the end of it. I was like, what
Was it the vertical one?
was it? I think it might have been a vertical.
Did you the endless climb or the impossible
no,
climb?
Impossible Climb. You get a different thing.
No, you get pants for that.
Do you also get pants for that?
Yeah, you get pants for that.
I thought you got.
I was so angry because I tried it. That took me a long time to
I thought it was
finish.
the iron as well.
I'm pretty sure it was just pants because anytime I really struggled with any platforming section or puzzle in the game, the reward was always pants. The reward was always like the thing that I cared the least about.
Yep. That's fair.
Give me a charm notch. Give me or an amulet notch. Give me a health upgrade. Give me a steel ingot so I can upgrade my weapon. No pants. I don't care about
I thought it
cosmetics.
was anyway.
They're good pants.
Yeah. As you can tell, there are a couple bugs in this game. We'll get into that later. The story following this this prince, not this prince, this immortal, this group of immortal that sort of gets betrayed. What did you think of the story line? It's very different from the previous ones where you're sort of saving a princess or saving a kingdom and a princess.
I loved it because we're coming in with almost like a Seven Samurai type story here. Like you've got this group of immortals that are hired basically to do nothing but like protect the best interests of a nation and everything and the people involved in it. And like you're just part of this absolute badass crew, each with their own like unique abilities in that. And like I don't want to get too into spoilers right now, but like
you can get into spoilers, but I said
I
there were
mean
spoilers.
you're going to be fighting some of them later on, and I pretty much knew that was probably going to be the case going into the game, so it made it even more exciting when I'm sizing all of these characters up and going like, oh, what their fight is going to be, what's this fight going to be like, and they live up to it.
Yeah. I loved seeing them at the beginning. I was like, I'm gonna have to fight these guys, and then I looked at their powers. Was like, I'm gonna steal those powers, aren't I?
Yep.
It was good. Hawk, what do you think of the story?
I love the story. I also love that the fractured time element to it, and that these people are basically trapped in this castle, which is like basically removed from time going forward, but possibly also going
Backwards and
in that.
parallel.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because it's like you encounter that one part where you get Menelaus's bow, and you're like, whoa! It's like you're encountering like your friend who's basically dead at this point in time, but then you end up fighting him, in your present, and that a little later on in the game. I'm kind of really invested in the story and that, and see how it turns out and that. And plus, you end up fighting yourself. It's almost like
A number of times.
Yeah,
it's almost I love the idea of the purgatory behind it, and that these people running around and that they have no idea time how time is just basically slipping away. you know.
I love that the other
I-
versions of you are from different timelines. Like they've taken different choices and they say, and like it's such a cool concept. And
I felt a little gypped on that though, because like the game allows you to basically, it's a choose your own adventure essentially for a lot of it. Like the main story is structured in such a way where you do play it in order, but there are areas where it's like you have options. If you can go this way first, you can go this way, you can go this way, you can go this way. All the side quests in it, like obviously you can do them at any time in the game. And I remember watching a buddy of mine streaming the game, and he went up against when you fight the versions of yourself when it's a 2 against 1.
yep, I went there
It's
too.
the two of them
Yeah.
fighting you, and I remember why he was struggling like hell in that fight, and I was like, I can't wait to get into that fight. It's so amazing. I didn't know where it was. I didn't find it until the very end, when I was like fully upgraded, and I walked in and just was like dead.
Yeah,
I did
felt a
one
little
super for them
overpowered
and
in that
killed them
too,
both,
yeah.
and I was like,
Yeah.
huh, cool.
I think by that time I had received that one upgrade in that the Athra Surge in that, and where you basically like, you know, propel your fist in that and like you create a huge explosion.
Oh, like the Goku punch.
Is
Yeah, exactly.
It
The
was-
Goku punch.
it was like the same thing for he and I on the Menelaus and the Ord fights, where like he did the Ord fight first, I did Menelaus. So I struggled like hell on Menelaus, and he struggled like hell on Ord. But then after we did that, we both leveled up and went, and then kind of reversed it and went against the other one. He killed Menelaus in like the second try. I killed Ord on my first attempt, and it was like, what a difference just that one little level up of your weapon and your health makes. Like
It's crazy. Like, yeah, we'll talk about that later. But to go off the story, like the part of the game that really like stood out for me story wise was when you go into the beach area where everything's frozen in time, and then halfway through it starts going in time, and you're like, fuck,
Yes.
this is such a cool game. This story's awesome. And that was the moment.
Basically, you're basically walking on water in that's frozen in time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like
that
planks
was
that are
amazing.
just flying that are from an explosion but are stopped mid. Oh, it's so cool. It's such a cool concept. Oh my god, this game is so fucking cool.
that was the other thing I loved, the abilities in this game, how so many of them relate to like the time and everything, and like warping through time and changing the elements of time. Some of them were so fucking ingenious.
Let's talk about
I will
the
say
gameplay.
I will say, like, I recommend to you guys, if you did like the gameplay of this one, check out Eterna Noctis. It's really
yeah.
difficult, but they did borrow a lot of concepts and ideas and abilities from that game into this. Like, there was a lot that when I'm watching people play, when I got certain abilities, I was like, oh, this is from that game. Oh, this was taken from that game. Oh, this was from that game. And it feels very similar in the way it plays through. So
Is that on all consoles as well?
I believe so.
Okay, cool. I'll have to check it out.
I know I play it on PS. I have it on PS5 and on PC. So, and I'm pretty sure it's also on Xbox and Switch. So,
all right, something to check out. Let's talk about gameplay. You talked about it. We talked about it a little bit already, as it was. The game is a Metroidvania style game, so you have a giant open map which unlocks slowly as you gain powers. But you can also go places that you're not really supposed to at any given moment, as long as you can figure out a way in there.
yeah. There's a few areas I got into that the game clearly did not want me to be in.
I did the underground too early by accident.
Yep.
That was unfortunate.
I went down there. I was like, wow, the game suddenly got really hard.
And I tried to run through it. It did not help. It did
No.
not. So as you unlock powers, you just start leveling up and you start feeling incredibly powerful. Your character changes aesthetically as well as power wise. What do you think about the progression of powers and what you gain going forward? And were there any favorite powers that you had in the game? Let's start with Hawk.
Yeah, like I said, you have to unlock like all your movements in this game. And very similar to any kind of Metroidvania in that, where it's like you start with your jump, and then it's like at some point you get a double jump, and then
That came way later than I thought it would.
Yeah, that's usually, double jump is usually a staple of these games to be one of the first things you get, and there's been a few games lately where they've been like really subjugating that and making it much later in the game to kind of throw off people's ideals, which I kind of like.
I did too, but
It's fun, you know. It's like, you know, you get that push through the air before you get the double jump, like way before. And that, so far, my favorite power was when you can basically leave a crystalline image of yourself at any
Mhm.
point in that, and then like you know, you can press the L button and just warp yourself back there. And that it has a lot of
Mhm.
applications for the puzzles. Also, really helped in the Menelaus boss fight.
that
I
felt like
found.
Sands of Time, like peeking
Hmm.
in. It was like a little bit of Sands of Time being like, yeah, we know you guys like this one. We'll put that power.
Yeah, like Menelaus is a very tough boss battle. One of the things that helps, one of the things that makes it so tough is like you cannot get near him to even land a blow in that. So you dropping yourself at like a crystal form of yourself, and that helps you like really close the gap.
I actually found in that fight that what I did was I waited for him to. I basically stood there and I baited the attack, and I said, "Okay, come on, throw the thing, throw the thing, throw the thing." And as soon as he throws it, you have about a 2 second window where he doesn't move, and you can go over hit him, and you can knock him in the air, and you can just sit there and juggle him in the air for about a quarter of his health bar. And I
I
was
did
like,
that too.
"This is fun.
Yeah,
I've noticed that.
You've
It's
been
like,
killing me a lot, so this is satisfying."
go ahead.
I got to agree though that was probably my favorite ability. As much as like I love the fluidity of all the other ones, like the double jump, the dash, the once you get like the chakram that you can warp to, like that was an ability that's taken
Yeah.
right out of Eterna.
Yes.
That was like a big ability in that game. I don't know based on where you are, Huck, if you actually have all the abilities or not.
There's one I haven't acquired yet. It has to do
Yes,
with
so I won't mention that one.
Oh.
I won't mention that one for
Yeah.
that sake, but
Yep.
it was a good one. It was
Yeah,
a fun
that's
one.
a fun one.
But I definitely like it. It opens a whole new level of traversal once you get that. But I agree that I love the one where you freeze in time and can teleport back to it, because there was a few boss battles where that mechanic was needed. You had to do that to get out of certain predicaments.
The last
And
bottle,
it was
the last
at
bunch,
first.
too.
Yeah, at first it was really difficult to wrap my head around it and get the placement of the time move. But once I did and I started pulling it off, I just felt even more badass. Like
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
it felt so satisfying pulling that maneuver off.
Yeah, the powers really flow really well together, and it's really apparent in the last two boss battles when you have everything. Hawk, take off your earmuffs for a sec,
Okay.
because I love the fabric of time. I love like using your scarf to like float around and like
Yeah.
pull people. Like the shield guys were such a pain in the ass as such minor characters, but after you could just pull it away from them, I was like,
Yeah.
yeah, amazing. And
I never,
pulling,
I never even tried that. I still kept trying to do the charge my attack to break their shields,
that's fair.
but no, like that King Darius fight, where it's just you have to utilize every single ability you've got in that fight. It forces you to do that.
I was in the air 75% of the time in that fight.
Yep.
Yeah.
But I like it forces you to do your whip pull. It forces you to teleport through time. It
Yeah.
forces you to dash, double jump. It forces you to use your arrows. It makes you have to use a chakram. It forces you to use every single ability.
The
It's
one
such
where
this
you
fun little
capture
dance,
things,
like
that
yep.
thing where you trap things in the
Yep.
thing and then shoot it back. Like fuck, that was a cool power too. I don't know if he's at that. Is he?
I
He might have
no, he should have that. The only thing he doesn't have is the whip
Is
pull
the fabric?
with the Indiana Jones mode.
Yes. Just flying through the air, man. Once you get
Yeah.
there, oh man, so much fun.
And the only thing I will say is like the last boss disappointed me a little bit because
It
I
was
found
so easy.
I found it was really easy.
I think what they
And
did was
I think King Darius should have been the final fight because that was a really epic battle.
I think that was technically the last fight. I think the final battle was there for an emotional value because it was really emotional.
Yeah.
And for you to like try each of the powers and just feel like that's when you go into Super Saiyan Goku mode.
Yeah.
Right. And that like
And yeah, in the fourth round when you go into that and like every one of your hits suddenly does like 10 times the damage.
oh,
like
such a cool. And then the art direction in that section in general was fucking gorgeous. We'll talk about art. We'll talk
Yeah.
about graphics in a couple seconds. Hawk, you can put your earphones back on.
Can I come back now?
Sorry, the power that I liked is the power you don't have.
Yeah.
Any of our listeners, apologies. I haven't finished it, and that I had to
You're
take
so
a week.
close, man.
I know. I took
You're
a
very,
week.
very close. Yeah.
I took a week off because I was reading an advanced copy of this new Star Trek Picard novel, Firewall. Yeah, and we got to review David.
Yeah, I would. Based on where you are, I'd say if you dedicated probably like a solid 2.5 to 3 hours, you'll finish the game.
Yeah, from the sounds of it, it sounds like I'm closer than I imagined. So
Unless you want to find everything in the game.
that's the
Well,
thing,
you
I
can do
know.
that afterwards. Like you can, they allow you to once the game is completed, they allow you to go back into the world and complete anything you didn't do. So,
But it's going in the world pre-final boss is where it stops. That's where you come back.
Okay, pre-final boss. Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, I can't wait to hear what you think about that last power. My favorite power. We're going to talk about the graphics because this one is not like the other, the previous, because the previous ones were 3D versions of the game. It, you know how they went with Zelda and they moved into a 3D world instead of a 2D world. This one, they took us back into a 2D realm, sort of like the Metroid game that came out not too long ago.
and my God, a lot of people were up in arms about that. I love the backlash of people complaining about how dare you turn my beloved series into a 2D game. It's like it started as a 2D game. Like it's going back to its roots.
I mean, I'm sure all those fans that were angry are thinking of Sands of Time and not even the ones that came out after that, which is funny. Which is also 3D, mind you, but they never think about it. They always think about.
I guarantee you, 90% of the fan base only knows about Sands of Time and Warrior Within.
Yep. I can agree with you about that. Yeah, because that's the one that's always referenced. That's the one that got turned into a really amazing movie, starring Jake Gyllenhaal.
Starring Roadhouse.
I want to watch that movie again and see if it's actually as bad as I remember.
It is bad. Okay, there is a line of dialogue in that movie where he's fighting a guy, and the guy literally looks at him and says, "I fuck guys like you in prison." And I'm like, what is that line of dialogue?
Wow.
What the fuck is that
This
line
is a
of
Disney
dialogue?
movie. Dude.
Like, where did that come from? Like,
we should do a review of Prince of Persia, the movie.
Oh Lord.
The reason why I want to watch it again.
oh
is
no, that was Roadhouse movie.
Oh,
I'm talking
okay.
Roadhouse. I thought you meant the original Roadhouse
Oh
movie.
no! I'm talking about Prince
I
of
don't
Persia.
know if that. I never watched Prince of Persia, so I don't know. That line might be in
We
there.
should watch it. We should. I watched Assassin's Creed, the 2016 version. I still like that movie.
Still haven't watched that either.
I still like that movie. It's still
With
fun.
Fassbender?
Yeah,
it's a good
he was
one.
really good.
I will watch all those if you watch Mortal Kombat 2 with me.
I will 100% watch Mortal Kombat 2. with
It's
you.
done filming. Trailer's coming soon.
I will
I can't.
You will, Hawk. I know
It
you
has
will
Carl
too.
Urban in it.
I know.
Carl
which is
Urban
so
As Johnny
disappointing.
Cage, he will make it enjoyable for his scenes at least. At least.
Are they writing a new character in? Like, cause like
No,
you know,
they already have
introduction-
Metal Sweater in there.
Okay, Metal Sweater's coming back. Oh, great.
Of course he is. He was the main character in the
Goody.
first one, right?
I
Are they
know,
going to have
like
Mortal Kombat
nobody-
in the second game?
Uh,
In the second movie?
I hope so. Well, apparently they're also like, from what I've seen from the cast list, they're also bringing back half the people they killed in the first movie.
Ah.
Kano's back. Kung Lao's back.
But-
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's a Mortal Kombat movie.
All right, well, let's think about that whenever
Yeah.
it happens. Oh my god.
I have the ability to leave my brain at the door and just enjoy the punch.
Anyway, visually, this game, I'm looking at this trailer right now, and I don't know why people would be angry at this. Like, it's a gorgeous game. Like, visually, it's smooth as silk. Like, it was constantly at a high frame rate for me. How was it playing it on the PS5, and then we'll go to the Switch after? Like, visually.
It was, it was absolutely smooth visually. Like, that was the one area of the game that did not have any kind of like technical hiccups and stuff like that. Was audio was clean throughout. Visually, it was perfect throughout. It has to be in a game like this because if with the level of the platforming and movement that the abilities give you in this game, if you ever have any kind of like frame stuttering in that, it just pulls you right out of it.
That's why I was worried when they announced it for Switch, because I know that sometimes the Switch stutters and doesn't get the higher frame rates, and you know, if they try and play it at a higher resolution, it just sort of dips. So that's why I'm interested in your
didn't
Yours hot.
notice any like frame rate issues when I was playing in that, because it's a very fast moving game in that. Like when you're in motion in that, like you're leaping from one to the next. So they potential was there for for stutters and stops and the frame rate to occur. Not happening. My only poo poo was during that fight with the big cobra. Weird bug hit, and basically like it knocked out the rest of the background, and that left only you and the snake there.
I wonder if that's just a regular bug in the game. There are
I
a bunch.
think it might just be a regular bug, but
I don't know. I had a bug during. I mean, I had a bug during a few boss fights, but I had one during the Menelaus fight where suddenly I couldn't take damage.
oh,
I was down to like one hit from death, and every time he hit me, I did not die, and it was
That's a
happening
great
on
bug.
stream, and I was kind of like
what's
in my head, I'm
happening
like,
to me too?
I was like, I kind of want to finish the fight just because it's really hard, but I'm like, I'm going to intentionally restart because I don't want to beat this way. Like,
Yeah. Yeah, I remember that. Like, my health bar was nothing, and and he kept coming in with those,
Yeah.
that attack of his that you gain, and like nothing was happening. I kept not dying in that, and it's like, what? This is very odd.
Man,
But
I wish
yeah,
I had fun
ended up,
bugs.
I had to restart in that because
don't worry, I get the bad ones too.
yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah,
My
like I
webcam
said,
is
you
like
don't
this.
want to win the boss fight that way. And that same thing with the Cobra and that. There was one point where it actually stopped moving, and I was just kind of like, I was all the way on the left side of the screen and that, and I was just throwing shield attacks or the bow attacks at it. And then it was like, oh, its health bar's coming down. It's like, do I want to finish it off this way?
Yeah.
Nah.
Yeah, that's fair.
No.
I'm looking at the comparison, like a visual comparison between the PS5 version and the PC and the Switch. And the only thing that looks different on the Switch is that some of the background isn't as detailed and some of the flooring isn't as detailed. But the Prince looks exactly the same. And as long as it plays as smooth, I don't think people would notice that much.
No, I can't imagine that they would, and then like I kind of like that they kept the graphics down. It's like kind of it's like it's a 2D kind of game, side scrolling and that, but at the same time it kind of offered them a lot more platforms on the Switch, and I think they were very intent on making sure this got to the Switch and that so.
And I'm glad. Like it didn't look like it got dumbed down on any other console. So like all the particle effects during all the specials, all the boss battles, all gorgeous. Like there was not a part. The lightning strikes in the sea area, I really like the sea area. Were gorgeous. Like everything like just looked like it was like ray traced.
That pirate ship that you fight Orad on like was just one of the most gorgeous set pieces I've seen in a game in a long time.
Yeah,
Like,
I agree. And I'm glad. I don't think I've seen it in any of the trailers, which is nice because if that got spoiled for me, I'd be very sad.
I will, yeah, hands down, I will say that the trailer for this game does not show you any of the really amazing parts of this game.
Yeah, no, I agree. Sound design, good. Nothing out of the. I thought the music was really good.
I was vibing on the end credit music when it was playing.
The very long end credit.
Very long end credits, yes, but there is a cutscene at the end to stick around for, but I don't know if it was really worth it.
I don't know. It sort of seems like they're sort of setting up a sequel.
Yeah, but I was like in such a like minimalistic way that I was like, I really have to just sit through 10 minutes of credits for this.
It was not worth the wait. Yes, but the music was very good. So,
but the music was great. Like I don't know how much of it was played. That song was played during the game, but it was just this really like haunting melody with like all of these like female voices doing like these wonderful harmonics over top of it. It was just really, really gorgeous song.
The sound design is really good. There was this one area I was in. I kept hearing this weird sound. It made it like it made a very ominous kind of trek
the
through.
Sewer?
Might have been around the sewer and that.
The shield head guys in the sewer.
I thought I was coming close to some sort of creature in that, like listening to it, but like never found. One cue I really did like was every time you find the little girl who tells you the maps and that, and she's apparently humming the original theme song music.
Yeah, she's singing the theme song from The Sands of Time.
I love that you always find her when you're already like 95% completed the map.
There's one
then
section.
There she is. She's at the door on the way out.
The lighthouse, right? You get to her at the top, and you're like, why did I buy the map?
Yeah.
This is the whole lighthouse. I already did the whole lighthouse. And I was like, whatever, that's fine.
I love the sound design of the chime that you carry around with you that indicates when treasures are nearby.
Yeah.
And if you've got like the 3D headset on, you can pinpoint exactly where that baby is just from the sound. It literally like pings all around you to where you can find exactly where it is.
I didn't use that one because I had the treasure bird with me. Did you have that treasure bird?
I had the treasure bird and that one.
Yeah. So that was the one little thing that was annoying. That bird would squawk all the fucking time. All the time. But that's okay. I think the best thing about this game, sound-wise, is that you don't notice anything about it. So that means it's done its job, right?
It's just doing its job.
Nothing seems out of place. All the sound effects sound really good. All the special powers sound really cool. That Goku punch sounds like a Goku punch.
Yeah.
And then visually is a Goku punch, and it's amazing. I loved all those supers. We didn't even talk about those, but whatever.
Yeah, that was kind of like, I love all the supers in the game. I hate that you have only 2 slots and you can only choose 2 at a time. And it's like the level 3 ones are so awesome that I just kind of kept those going. And it's like, but like, I would have liked to been able to switch out like on the fly with those powers.
I stuck with all the level 1s because that way I could fire more of them off, and I found that every time you get an enemy stuck in one, you can attack them with your normal attack while they're stunned in it.
Yeah.
So you gain extra damage.
I did level 1 and level 2 mostly.
Yeah.
Occasionally I'd bring out the Goku punch because I just like seeing it.
So cool.
So yeah. But the other ones, like the pull everyone up in the middle or attack from the ground, I didn't really use them.
Yeah, the diving one you do, boom.
Yeah, I use the healing one a lot early on in the game. Like that was really key in a lot of boss fights early on.
Yeah, I use that in the one that's in your background, the Forest Queen. Let's see.
Greatest boss fight in the game.
Do you want to talk about
possibly
the boss
one of the greatest boss fights? This game
I already
on a
talked
whole,
about
collectively, I think has the best roster of boss battles I've ever fought. Next to Hollow Knight.
The next one that Hawk does is the one that I really enjoyed and was really hard. Really hard. We talked about it when he had his earmuffs off.
Yeah, the next one is a challenge.
It was the one that made me step away from the game for a little bit.
Oh, great. Cool.
Yeah. Hawk, what was your favorite boss battle so far?
Let's see. Like the one Keon in the forest was really good in that because of just all the stages and that, it's like in Menelaus fight was really good. And it's like I didn't even really go for spoilers on it, and that I ended up figuring that out for myself, which is nice.
I like the story of that one too, because he's so hurt that they're really good friends in the going into it. So the fact that he betrayed, or they think they betrayed each other. Man, so
yeah, actually the Menelaus fight was my favorite one.
Nice. And Brent, talk about the Forest Queen.
And hands down Keanu fight for me, because like I've said, my favorite boss battle in any video game of all time is the Mantis Lords from Hollow Knight. I love that's one of those fights that when you learn the patterns and you learn the visual cues for each of them, and then you just get into this like almost like you can close your eyes and you just feel everything. And you're just going with it, and you're dodging this and dodging that. And this brought that feel to me because, and I mean, it borrowed even from, there's a move in the Mantis Lords fights that they take and put in this and evolve it even further, where it's like you have to not only like dodge each of the attacks, but then you have to dodge and parry, dodge, parry, dodge, parry. And it's just, but once you get the rhythm down, like I think the Menelaus fight is number 2 for me because it's the same thing. They just feel like this elaborate dance that like once you get the rhythm to it down, it seems impossible at first, but after 4, 5, 6 attempts, you just get that rhythm and you just feel like such a badass pulling all every maneuvers off.
I know our friend Julian was having a very hard time with the Forest Queen. I don't know if he ever beat her, but I hope he did because that fight is fucking awesome. There was one mechanic I totally forgot that I really liked, and I don't recall seeing it in any other game, and that was to take screenshots on your map of places, where you're like, this is a puzzle I need to solve later.
This is the thing that Metroidvania freaks like myself online have been freaking out about, because like we looked at this and said, how has this never been a thing before? Where like, because that's the one thing I hate is like I hate putting markers on maps, and then like later on I see the marker on the map and I go, oh shit, what was that? Like what was there? What did I need? I needed something for that. Do I have that yet? Do I want to go all the way back and find out? And in this, you're like, this area I need double jump to get past it. If you don't want to try and remember that, you can literally take a screenshot of the image and put it on the marker so that you can hover over and go, oh yeah, I need to double jump for there. Like what? It's such a simple but amazingly revolutionary progression for the genre. Like
my only quibble with that was that you needed actual materials in order to lay down like an image of an area, and really once you were done with it, you have no need to go back there or really have any need of that image anymore.
You erase it and it goes back in your inventory.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I didn't even know that. Shit.
Yeah, you get X amount of them to begin, and then you'll find more throughout the progression of the game. But every time you delete it, it just goes back in your inventory. It's just to make sure that you can't use infinite amounts of them.
Yeah. And once you use a fair amount, you end up solving a bunch before you even get to the next one, which is nice.
Yeah.
God, what else can we say about this game? Because like we sort of bugs.
Yeah.
Let's
get to the bad stuff.
So this game started off
is buggy,
and there are bugs. There are a number of bugs. I didn't run into too many. The only one I really ran into was a quest bug, which I finished the quest, but I can't turn it in. And it's a pirate bird. Once you read it online, you'll know which one it is, and it's a doozy, and it's a very common one.
I ran into a lot. I mean, there's the pirate ship quest. Hawk and I both ran into that, where after you accept the quest, the game plays, but you freeze. You can't move your character, and it forces you to have to restart and try again. And I tried again and again and again, and it was on like my 16th attempt that finally the game allowed me to progress. There was one earlier, the Moon Quest one. The same thing happened there, where I accepted the quest and my character froze. But I actually found in that one, it's just the image of your character's frozen. But if you just keep running until in the direction of off screen, eventually when you reach the next room, it resets everything and fixes it. I had 3 trophies glitch out on me. We talked about that one boss, Hawk, you haven't fought it yet. There's a boss coming up where it feels like there's a mechanical issue with the fight, where like certain things that you can do, and there's a lot of maneuvers you can normally do in a lot of different fights that somehow seem to not work in this fight, and it doesn't feel like it's a restriction. It feels like it's a bug.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's made the fight more frustrating than it needed to be.
So Hawk, for example, there's like you block the yellow attacks and then you do some sort of reversal on that. There are times when
the parry.
Parry. Sometimes you'll hit it the exact same spot in this fight and it won't register, but other times it will, and you'll be like, "What? I don't know what to change in this."
One of the biggest things I love in combat is being able to dash cancel. So like if you're attacking an enemy and then they go to attack, all you have to do is dash and it cancels your attack so you can get out of the way. You can't do that in this fight. Yeah, if you go in and start attacking and you're in the middle of an attack animation and he decides to hit you, you can't cancel it and get out of the way. It's and I think it's just I don't think it's the fight. I think it's a bug in the code.
That does sound like a bug. The worst bug I encountered, well, not the worst, but one of the most annoying ones, and that was after your little map guide is stolen from you by the old man. And you have no idea which direction you're going in, and that you're basically waiting for that old man to run in that so you can chase him in that. I got to this part where the old man was just standing there, and I was like, so you're supposed to approach him, and he starts running, and you're supposed to chase him and find him, get your map back. He was just standing there. He was just standing there looking at me, and I was like, okay, what now? It's not much of a bug, but it was annoying because it took me a couple tries to find which direction I was supposed to go in that, for that one. So
yeah. I mean, there was the Mental Eyes fight too, where like it bugged out, where like you couldn't kill you.
Yes.
I mean that's like a bug in your favor, but I didn't like it, so I was like, no, I'm gonna reset this fight. I don't want to win that way.
Yes.
There are lists of bugs, and Ubisoft has been pretty good at putting out updates. There's been a number since it's released.
I haven't seen an update in a while, and on PS5 anyway, I haven't seen an update in a while.
There were 2 in the first week for me, and then I beat the game, so I stopped. Checking.
There was 2 in the first week, and then I haven't seen anything since.
No, okay.
Yeah, I've not seen anything like for Switch wise on that. Switch obviously not the greatest for updates and that, but again, I haven't seen any new updates in a while.
Then I reverse my thing, what I said, and I say, get on it, Ubisoft. People want to get their trophies, especially the pirate bug, man. Just let me turn in my damn quest. Let me finish this game. Let me finish it.
Make sure the bird follows you home.
Oh my god, it's so. And then that pirate captain is just like, well, my bird is over there. You should go get him. I'm like, you fucking get him. He's just standing right there. He's in the next room. Oh my god. Overall, let's do our final thoughts, because I don't think there's anything else we can really talk about it. Hopefully this game gets a sequel. It's getting a lot of love online. Like, everyone seems to enjoy this game. I think it's,
from what I understand, the sales are not what they were hoping they would be, though. I've heard that the sales for the game are not quite what they were expecting. But I mean, it's just getting universal acclaim from like players, from critics.
I mean, releasing a 2D game, like
in a franchise that the majority of your audience is not used to that. Like, it was a gamble.
Yeah,
I personally think it paid off, but
I think this game is amazing. I think right now the Metascore on it is 86%, which is good, and then the user reviews are 9.0, so 90%.
Yeah. I would go, like, for me personally, like, this game, like I said, it's for it to rank already as one of my top 3 favorite Metroidvanias of all time, and I've played hundreds of Metroidvania games over the years. This is pure and simple. This game is a masterpiece, and I'm willing to ignore all of the bugs that happen in the game. They don't bother me. It did not detract from my experience whatsoever. The only thing it did was like, well, that trophy glitch. Oh, damn it. Now I have to play this amazing game again one day. Like, darn. No, it's an absolute 10 out of 10 masterpiece. I hope that this is a game that starts bringing the Metroidvania genre more into the forefront for people, because there hasn't really been any real AAA Metroidvania titles except for this and Metroid Dread.
This game is
it's
way
always
better
been
than Metroid Dread.
it's always been an indie dominated genre. So I would like to see more big companies start moving in this direction, trying games like this and pushing the boundaries of them. Like,
so would you recommend this game? Should people be playing? That's the thing we call these. Should people play?
Oh, 10 out of 10 masterpiece, but no, don't play it. No,
okay,
stay
fair.
Obviously.
Yes, you absolutely should be playing this game. It is, like I said, Brent said, the Metroidvania in 2Ds like now seem more of an indie kind of cult thing, and that but again, those worlds open up like some great like game level design, and this is definitely no exception on that. Prince of Persia. The map system that goes along with it, the level design, everything about it just keeps you coming back for more. It's like as soon as you save, and it's like, and you think you're done with it for the night, and it's like you want to go out and get that one little dark corner, and that there might be something cool there. It's like I'm very sorry to hear that the sales aren't what they were expecting in that, but this is a game. Everybody should be playing right now. If you're into Metroidvania. If you're not, you're right. There's not a lot of these AAA titles in that, and it's a chance. But this one is like a chance that really pays off in that. So I really hope it does get some sort of a push and sales go up for it, because I really think a lot of people should be playing this game. Yeah,
Ubisoft made a big gamble turning this into a Metroidvania game, and it totally pulled it off for me. Like everyone said here, this game is phenomenal. The level progression, the map design, nothing feels like they just sort of
there's nothing haphazardly thrown in there.
It's not half-assed. It's done really well. The story's engaging. There are moments where I was like, oh, heartbreak heartbreak in the story. Like it you actually feel for these characters, which is, not something that always happens in a game. It was fun to play. I'm really lucky personally, like this is from my personal experience, because in the last 6 months, 2 games have made me stay up and play and like lose hours, like not even notice that I've been losing hours. And that was Spider-Man 2, which was probably like one of my favorite games of last year. And this game, Prince of Persia, like there are not many games where you're just like sitting there like, oh my God, I just gotta keep going. I need to see where this next thing leads. Like Hawk was saying.
2 a.m., but I still...
2 a.m. I could probably find the next fast travel place, right? That's fine. It's fine. It's fine. I got it. Maybe I'll just beat this one boss. Like it's such a fun game, and you might look at it and it's like a 2D game. And you're like, oh, that's not for me. But fuck, man, you'd be losing out on such a good game. Just play it. You should be playing this game.
If anything, it's like with people could get a little jaded over like the graphics and the push for just like better visuals and that it's like this will take you back to the old school gaming, like from your past, where it's
4 a.m. You're listening to Queen and you have pizza on your lap and popcorn. Fuck yeah.
Well, that's my present, but no, it will reinvigorate your love of old school gaming and that the difficulty and the impossible climbs. It's like that takes me way back to Metroid.
And like us, it's the Metroidvanias of late have been getting spectacular. Like 2 games that I like, Blasphemous 2 last year was a amazing example of a Metroidvania done correctly. And there's another one I recently played, which was another one that I for whatever reason I couldn't put this game down, was After Image. So I love that, like, and I play that and I'm like, this game is almost perfection. I'm like, I don't know that it can get much better than this. And then another one comes along and just pushes it just that little bit further. Like, I love it. I love that they swung for the fences on this and really, really nailed it.
I love that they also put a lot of little Easter eggs for Prince of Persia fans. Like that shows that they didn't just like throw away the franchise. Like they still love this is made by people who loved the previous games.
And I did not pick up on a single one of them because I don't know any of the other games.
That's okay. You know what? I'm going to give this game this. This game makes me want to watch the movie again. Just to see if it's good. Like that's how good this game is. Take that as you will. Anyway, so
he's gonna come back. He's gonna come back on and be like, "All right, you know what, guys? Yeah, I hate the game now."
no, it will never.
Movie was so bad, I hate the game.
Even though I knew the movie was bad, it made me hate this game.
Never. I look forward to playing this game again once I know that some of the bugs have been fixed, and then I can get that last fucking pirate bird thing.
Same. As soon as I know that the bug that screwed me over is fixed, I'm going back in and I'm replaying the whole game again, 100%.
Although. There are some games that we are going to be reviewing coming up soon. We have Last of Us Part 2, which came out a couple of weeks ago. It came out at the same time as Prince of Persia, and I definitely beat Prince of Persia first. Even though I love Last of Us Part 2, fucking gorgeous game. The remaster is really good. We also have new Final Fantasy VII coming out in like a couple weeks, which makes me want to replay. I never played the DLC that came with the
Neither did I.
So I'm thinking about
I never played the DLC, and I did not play the game that the
Crisis Core.
What was the other one that just came out? Crisis Core. I didn't play that one either.
That's not really connected to it.
It's more. Well, I heard it's a prequel story. It more tells the story of Sephiroth, but still, like it's not needed to progress further. But given the fact that Yuffie is going to be incorporated into the sequel, like you kind of have to play the DLC.
We will play. I'll
introduce her.
I'm definitely going to play the DLC before the game. Like we still have like 3 weeks.
They've chosen an interesting date to release it, haven't they?
When is it? It's February 20th.
February 29th.
Yes. Good for
Get
them.
on them.
I hope mine comes. I bought it online and it better come.
Oh. Can I get Dragon's Dogma done by then?
Maybe, but you got to play that Tifa DLC, man.
Yeah.
What other things are we going to talk about soon? I want to do Masters of the Air when it finishes in March. I have a friend that is a real big aviation person in that space, so I would love to know, especially the authenticity with all the plane stuff, because he would know out of everyone that I know. What other things do we have coming up?
I mean, we'll have Deadpool when that comes out, obviously.
Yeah.
I think that's definitely one we're going to be talking about.
We'll find out. I I don't know what else is coming out soon, but we'll have things. Definitely, you'll see stuff more regularly now that I'm.
We gotta think of another
right.
music episode.
Yes,
We gotta figure
I
out
wanted to
something
do soundtracks that from films that are no soundtracks that are good for bad movies.
Soundtracks or scores?
Scores.
Okay.
Yeah. That's a
Scores
hard
for
one, isn't
bad
it?
movies. Yeah.
That are good scores for bad movies.
There's some.
There are definitely some.
There's.
I know mine is perfect because I will never watch this movie again. Anyway, you'll find out when we do this in a couple sometime. Well, I don't know, sometime soon. Anyway, for Hawk, for Brent, for me, thanks for coming and listening to us. We'll see you guys in a couple weeks or whenever, sometime soon. All right, bye. See ya.
Bye.
Well, that's it for us this week on Geeks with Kids. If you want to get a hold of us, you can send us an email at podcast@geekswithkids.ca. And don't forget to like us on Facebook at facebook.com/geekswithkids. Follow us on Twitter at geekswithkidscn. Check out our pics on Instagram at geekswithkids. And you can find all of this good stuff on our website at www.geekswithkids.ca. So if you like what you hear, why don't you hit that subscribe button and leave us a comment. This podcast can be found on iTunes, Spotify, Google Play, Stitcher, YouTube, and your favorite podcasting app. Thanks again for listening, and we'll see you next time.